College football is absolutely insane right now. I remember a time when players opting out of bowl games was fairly new. It was taking everybody by surprise, and people were really upset with it. Now we go from players opting out of bowl games to keep themselves from getting injured, protecting their draft status, to now opting out on the season, quitting on their team due to unfulfilled NIL promises. Welcome to college football in 2024, people. So UNLV Football, they currently are 3-0, and right now, in my opinion, they are the current front runners to get that 12 seed, being a G5 team in the upcoming expanded college football playoffs. However, their season has just taken a massive turn, with their starting quarterback, Matthew Sluka, choosing to sit out for the rest of this season, redshirting due to unfulfilled NIL promises by UNLV's collective. According to reports out there, he was promised $100,000 when he transferred to UNLV. And you know how much they've only given him out of that? Only $3,000. And let's not get this twisted. This man is quitting on his team, his teammates, his coaches. He may not have had the best season in the world from a statistical standpoint. He had 7 total touchdowns, 6 through the air, 1 on the ground, and 1 interception, but he's completing under 50% of his passes. But it's just the fact that when you are on the team, you commit to play somewhere, you're supposed to give your all to said program. And when you just flat out leave and quit on them right in the smack dab middle of their best season, damn near ever, it really is a bad look on the player. But in this situation, though, I don't see how you can be mad at Matthew Sluka for choosing to make this decision not to play. And of course, he's going to hit the portal and he's going to run it back with another team next year if anybody picks him up. And the reason why you can't be mad at him is because UNLV promised this dude some money and they didn't live up to their end of the bargain. And when you get paid to do a job, you expect to get all of your compensation that was promised. It doesn't matter if there weren't any papers, it wasn't documented. When somebody commits to play for you based off a promise that you give them and you don't live up to it, of course they're going to end up leaving and going elsewhere because you just lied to them. You deceived them. That's like saying you're going to work at a job that is going to pay you $100,000 a year. They promise you this salary, right? Even though it wasn't documented, nothing was agreed upon on paper, you know, you're still working for that job based off the promise that they made to you. So when they don't uphold that promise, are you still obligated to work for them? Because to me, I wouldn't work for a job that just flat out lied to my face. First of all, it's unethical. And this business, deceiving players, puts a bad stain on your football program. You just promised Sluka all this money, and then out of nowhere, you don't have it, and you're not going to pay him everything. Why would any other player want to transfer to your school? Why would any other player trust you after what you just did in this situation? It's easy to come at this guy online, call him a quitter, call him a little B word, but this is a situation where we all should be on Matthew Sluka's side. This was the prime example of why name, image, and likeness is a big problem to the state of college football. We just need to be honest about what college football is right now. It's the NFL. Just doesn't have the 3-letter words that are the NFL. It just has CFB instead, but there's no regulations over this thing. Nobody gets penalized for deceiving these guys who come to play for said money and they don't get paid. And you can say it's the player's fault all you want to, but at the end of the day, when you get promised something, there is no excuse that you can make for the other program being unethical. Because at the end of the day, there are some morals that goes into this thing. You don't promise somebody something, get them on your team, and then you just flat out say, you know what, we're going to pull the rug from underneath you and go back on our promise. Because there probably were some other schools out there that may not have been giving Matthew Sluka $100K guarantee, but they were promising him 50,000, maybe 70,000. So not only did you just lie to this dude, make him come to your school and not pay him what you promised him to, but you also forced him to miss out on other money that he could have gotten paid elsewhere. Selfishness. You can call Matthew Sluka in this situation selfish, but you can also say the same thing for UNLV football. All they cared about was making sure that they got him on their team and not honoring their commitment. Both sides, to me, one is right, one is wrong. The right side of this thing is Matthew Sluka's side. I agree with him. I'm not about to come play for you if you promise me money and you don't hold up your end of the deal. Why would I want to play for a liar? Why would I want to play for a program that doesn't honor their word? This is a bad operation that UNLV is running right now. Of course, they're going to deny this. They're going to try to spin it around, but this is the first, and it won't be the last situation of this. There are plenty of players that are probably going through the same thing. The only difference is they love the game so much that they probably don't want to quit. But Matthew Sluka, he has one more year of college football. He might not make it to the next level, so you want to get as much money as possible, which makes sense because if I know that I'm not going to have a playing career past the collegiate level, it makes sense for me to get as much life-changing money as possible. So therefore, I'm not about to waste any of my time playing for a school that's not going to pay me what they promised. I'm going to just redshirt the rest of the season, save my 1 year left of eligibility, and go to a school that actually is going to give me the financial compensation promised. This was a bad mishandling of NIL by UNLV's collective. It's Vegas. You mean to tell me you were in Las Vegas, the city of angels, and nobody has $100K to give this dude? I mean, come on, what kind of operation are we running down there? For the people that are saying that Matthew Sluka's wrong for quitting on his team, you mean to tell me you wouldn't do the same thing? You went to a school that you may not have been interested in playing for if it wasn't for the financial promises that they gave you. Therefore, you're stuck playing on a team that you never wanted to play for to begin with because they didn't want to pay you what was promised. That's like saying, I'm going to pay you $1 million to live in the worst area of Chicago. You move to that area, and instead of them giving you $1 million, they decide to just give you $50,000. That wasn't part of the deal. Why you finna have me in a situation that I didn't want to be in, but I only put myself here because of the money you promised me? You can say, well, JT, don't chase the money. Go to the place you really want to go to. But I hate when people say that because we know that money makes the world go around, okay? And let's not make it seem like it's easy to pass up on a team that's offering you more than the others. Nobody just goes into the portal, gets these kind of offers and says to themselves, oh yeah, like there's a chance they just might not pay me. These are grown men, these are grown adults working in these roles that are offering these young kids, and you would think that they would be honorable to their word and hold up their commitments. If you're not about to pay a dude what you promised them to, he's not obligated to continue to play for you. This is the new age of college football, people. Everybody wanted this. Everybody wanted players to get paid. They wanted them to get money from their name, image, and likeness. And look at the repercussions of this. You see, nobody ever foreseen this coming. But now that it's happened, everybody now is kind of going back and saying, oh man, maybe NIL wasn't as good as what we thought it was. Because you see, everything in life starts out perfect, but then people take it further. They got to step it up a notch. Escalation, right? We went from players just wanting to get paid to now the transfer portal pretty much becoming the equivalent to what free agency is in the NFL. When you enter the transfer portal, you're looking to get paid. I've talked to players that have played for several Division I schools, G5, Power 5, and a lot of them who have played at lower level universities have told me that the first chance they get at being able to make a good sum of money from transferring to another program, they're taking the opportunity. There is no loyalty in college football. Most people in life are loyal to the money because money makes the world go around. When it comes to the battle of morality versus money, money wins every single time. There is no morals when it comes to money, and this is the prime example why. UNLV, they lied to this dude. He probably wanted to go to another school, but only changed his decision because of what they were offering him. Now he's stuck in a situation that he probably didn't want to be in if it wasn't for the promise that they went to give him that is now unfulfilled. You can't be mad at this kid. I agree with them, and we all should. If my job promises me a certain salary, I clock in and I don't get what I was promised, I'm leaving too. I'm quitting. I'm not about to put blood, sweat, and tears into a place that just flat out lied to me because you're not worth any of my blood, sweat, and tears. You're a liar. You're a manipulator. You manipulated me to come to your school with the premise that you were going to pay me a set amount of money that you never intended to honor. Why would I want to continue to play for your team? F your great season that you're having, after potential possibility of you making it to the college football playoffs. I don't give a rat's darn about anything you got going on because you don't care enough about me to honor your word. Why should anybody be siding against Matthew Sluka when he was the one who was wronged in this situation? I agree with them. You offered me the $100,000 to come play for your university. You only gave me $3,000 of that. Until you give me the rest of all that money you promised me, you will never see me suit up for your school ever again. And this is a bad message to send to the other potential players that you could be targeting in the portal next year, because they could say, if they did this to Matthew Sluka, why can't they do this to me?